Hi, welcome to the Buzzing Property Show here on Buzzing Pattaya, and joining me as always is Cornerstone's Managing Director Martin. How you doing, buddy?
Really good, really good.
Been a while?
Yeah, no, the months tick through.
I know, last time I spoke to you, you were off doing your New Year's Eve party and everything. Was it good?
Yeah, loved it.
The grin says it all, really.
Yeah, no, it's very pleasant, and yeah, but back to work now.
Yeah,
and,
I know, that's it, the grind now.
Yeah.
Since the last video, we've had a lot of questions coming, which I want to go through one by one in a minute. But before we get into, I mean, how is business in general? I mean, how are you finding things?
You wouldn't believe it. It's been absolutely crazy.
Has it?
Yeah, I mean, what a strange world we live in. You know, I mean, it brings a pandemic, and you know, as we're starting to get, you know, sort of see the wood through the trees. Yeah. Yeah, it's been very busy. I know other agents are busy as well, but yeah, it's there are some really good deals out there. There are some people that have made their life choices. I'm maybe not going to come back to Thailand or Pattaya anytime soon. Let's offload. There are people right here, right now, that are picking up some great deals, even rentals as well.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, I must admit, I mean, you've got a full office.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, wow. I mean, I remember the first video we did, there was you, John, your receptionist, and I think you had 2 staff. And now it's like 8 staff. I mean, like,
full quota.
Oh, fair play. Well, that's a signal, isn't it, of how well you're doing. And obviously, you know, as your company, you must be doing things right. Otherwise,
yeah, we've definitely sort of filled slots, you know, with good team players as well. So yeah, it's really changed the dynamic. So am I going to get a job soon? No, you don't qualify.
Oh well, there you go. I'm back to getting the other day, right? I did a video and I got shouted at by a woman with the camera. She said, "What are you doing?" I said, "Don't pick on me." But she had the right on. All right. I mean, so what I want to do, Martin, is I've got a list of comments here that have been put on the channel. And guys, those of you that have got any questions you want to ask, you know, please, you know, drop the comment below. Ask Martin. Either Martin will reply or his team of experts will come back to you and they will give you the answers you're looking for. So please, you know, use this opportunity to ask any property related question, be it buying or renting. Now, Paul Burns. Paul, if you're watching, you asked a question about what is the situation regarding land owned under a Thai company? Yeah. How does that work?
Well, it came through on the additional costs program. We did cover ownership though on a different video. Yeah. So Thai company basically can hold the asset of a condo. We spoke about the split 49, 51% condo, house or land.
So is the land the same setup, 49%?
Yes.
And and we spoke about this before, where you get the other shareholders to release their shares, is that correct? Yeah,
you can do. I mean, obviously, again, you know, sort of legally, you need 3 proper, you know, director and shareholders, but yeah, it can be kind of commonplace that, you know, they sign out of their shares, but it's the same situation. As if there's a foreigner involved, they can hold 49% directorship shares, and then 51% are Thai shareholders. They have no stake to the property. They cannot, you know, you're the power of attorney, you're the one that holds the company stamp, you're the one with the signatory on it. Yeah, that's basically how it works. The title deed will stay in the company, you're the director of the company.
All right, brilliant. Well, there you go, Paul. I hope that's answered your question. And guys, you know, please drop an email to Martin and his team if you need any more details about that particular question.
No questions, silly. You know?
All right. Joe Ford. Now, Joe, you've asked, if I own a 3 million baht condo, what would be my average running cost, my cost that I'm going to expect to be paying each month? How much does that cost?
Just to pick up a little bit, it was actually the average maintenance fees.
Oh, you're on form today, aren't you?
Yeah, well, I made the notes and shared it to you. I read it, Joe, don't worry.
All right, I did read it, don't be like that. I reply to every comment, and my followers out there will tell you that. So anyway, go on. 3 million baht condo, what are the average maintenance costs? I'm looking at your notes.
Okay, so the maintenance costs are the condo running costs that you pay to the juristic offices for, you know, electric, security guards, staff, cleaning the pools, cleaning the areas, garbage, refuse collection. And it's not based on the value of the property. It's per condominium building, what have they set as their maintenance charge.
Right, okay.
And it's calculated on a square meter basis. So if I've got a 50 square meter condo in the same building that you've got a 100 square meter condo, you are going to be paying twice as much as me for the maintenance fees in the same building, because you've got a unit, a condo that's twice the size. And maintenance fees from the older buildings can be as low as, say, 20 baht per square meter.
Per square meter, every month?
Yeah, so it's 20 baht baht per square meter every month, but normally it's paid on a yearly basis. So you see like typically January, February, letters going out to the owners to say, okay, your 2021 maintenance fees are now due.
So if you pay it in advance, I'm just thinking ahead of myself here, but let's just say it's January and I've just paid my whole year's maintenance fee in advance. What would happen if I was to sell my condo, say, after March, for argument's sake? I've paid all those 9 months in advance. Do you include that in the sale price? I mean, how does that balance?
We touched on it before, if you remember, and it just depends on the seller.
Okay.
I mean, we would normally talk to the seller, say, okay, this is what you're potentially going to get as a net figure after the projected costs. We do get some owners that say, okay, right, well, I've paid. I mean, normally that kind of situation arises, say in January, February or March, because you've just paid 15, 20, 30, 40,000 baht, you know, it kind of feels fresh in the pocket. But as you get to like June, July, August, and there's a few months left, again, it's case by case. But most of the time, if we price it right, you can just say it's included in the...
All right, so just to clarify then for Joe, so basically it's a per meter charge and it's paid annually in advance based on the size of your condo.
Yeah, and an older building, 20 baht per square meter, something like that. Say an average around 30, 35 baht per square meter for most of the sort of mid-height, mid-level condominiums. Right now, the new condominiums are going up as much as 50, 55, 60 baht per square meter. Yeah, it does get very expensive. Obviously, they're all sort of pristine, shiny, brand new buildings, and you know, you would hope that that money is going to keep everything, you know, all the chrome polished and everything else.
Wow. All right, well, brilliant. Well, that sounds like, so Joe, hopefully that's answered your question. And again, guys, you know, if you've got any more questions about maintenance fees, etc., please, you know, get in touch with Martin. The email is in the description below, so please fire away and get in touch. All right, now, I love this name, Live More Life. That's a great name. Hello. Live More Life. Now, Live More Life has asked, things you need to know if you're going to be buying a condo from abroad. Now, I'm guessing that's a really good question because right now, obviously with COVID restrictions,
really relevant
you can't
right now.
get over here.
Really relevant.
I mean, are you seeing an increase in people buying when they're actually back home and here?
Massively.
Massively. So what do they need to know then? Come on.
So, I mean, right now, again, you know, people have decided, or some people have decided that they're maybe not coming back to Thailand, maybe not coming back to Pattaya, and they're going to shift on their thing. Obviously, they're overseas as well. So we've got overseas sellers as well as overseas buyers. But I would say right now, a quarter to maybe even a third of our business is being dealt with right now with either both or one of the parties not here.
Wow.
So it's becoming a lot more common. And what we've been doing, so on the buyer's side, is again the great things that have come out from the last year have been Zoom and the Microsoft, absolutely, the platforms and videos. So I mean, literally 2 weeks ago, I was in a condominium on Pattaya Beach, 22nd floor, and we were there for around 10 minutes. And I was doing a full video conference call with a buyer in Germany, and literally just holding the camera, opening every single cupboard door, you know, turning on the taps for the kitchen sink, bathroom sink, shower for water pressure, just as we would normally do for a walkthrough for a buyer. But yeah, all on a mobile phone.
Wow. The wonders of modern technology.
Yeah, it is. I mean, obviously, again, you can probably tell from me, I'm quite particular, and I'll certainly support the buyers, and I will open every drawer. I will look under the bed.
I have to say, if there's one thing I know about Martin in the years I've known him, he's very meticulous in his approach and does literally, you tick every single box.
I can't help it. It's OCD, I'm afraid.
But do you know what? But that's a good thing.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like you just mentioned, there was something which I hadn't even thought about until you just said you turn the shower on to check the pressure. I mean, every single place I've ever lived in, I've never done that.
Yeah, especially from the 22nd floor, because it's got a long way to travel most of the time.
I never even give that a thought. Luckily, my shower's okay.
Well, you know where to come.
So, I mean, the video calls obviously are hugely important. I mean, in terms of buying from abroad, I mean, there are things that they really need to be aware of. I mean, if someone's watching this video now thinks, do you know what, COVID, the prices have dropped, people are desperate to sell, they want to leave, etc., etc., etc. I mean, are there things that you could say to people watching this video now, guys, if you are thinking about buying from wherever you are in the world, these are things you need to take into consideration?
I mean, obviously, the biggest change will be that, you know, you won't be here physically, so you will be relying maybe on a video call. I suppose, you know, without sort of being disrespectful to some condos, you know, to have to buy a new bed or a new sofa isn't that much money. But certainly, you know, hopefully get to trust who is going to be conducting the video call. Don't feel guilty that you're on a video call for 10 minutes, you know, and again, you're asking questions because, you know, you would be doing that naturally if you were here. It just feels a bit different when you're kind of like conversing on video because you're not in the room. But again, you know, if you've got any questions, no question is a silly question realistically. But no, the biggest change will be that, you know, should you like something and we can get everything set in place, now it's power of attorneys.
Yeah, I was just going to move on to it because if you're going to nominate someone as a power of attorney, who do you nominate?
Well, we have a very good, respected legal service company here that we use for our own business. You know, you would choose your lawyer. Hopefully from some kind of recommendations and everything. But it's a relatively simple process, believe it or not. Some people will leave us as their power of attorney, some family relation or friend that they know and they're comfortable with, or the lawyer. But they will need to receive the paperwork in their country. And then have everything witnessed and stamped and returned over here.
Okay, and I mean in terms of, I mean that you touched on that there, I just want to ask that question. So if I'm back in the UK for argument's sake and I decide that, yeah, I want to buy this place because it ticks all my boxes, you're going to send me the paperwork, I have to then sign it and send it back. I mean, how long does that kind of process typically, I know it's individual cases, but typically how long does that take? It's not,
I mean, it's actually right now we're experiencing the wait is from the public notary or the Thai embassy more than anything else. I mean, that's quicker, that's longer than even the post service in Thailand. Yeah, you'll receive the paperwork. The lady that we use, she'll actually liaise with you directly. She will fill out all the documents, she'll translate it into English if you want to, just so you know what you'll be signing, because it's a Thai document. She'll email that to you because then you can print it out ready for an original signature. Right now we're hearing stories of the Thai embassies in most countries not wanting to accept a huge amount of people through their doors. They're being very restrictive. Public notaries have definitely now been the more commonly used, what would you say, like legal service. So it's a matter of just taking all your documents, paperwork, passports. They will witness, they will stamp, and they will seal those documents. And they'll be ready to send back to Thailand. The one advice I would give, and I always give, sorry to carry on, is that as we explain to any buyer or seller, you know, you're going to go to a public notary. It's going to be new to you. You've probably never done it before. You know, we've given you all the paperwork that you need. There will maybe be questions or doubts or anything else. If you're there, give us a call. If you're there, give the lady a call, the lawyer a call. And then once you've completed everything there and they've said, thank you very much, we're done, take a photograph of everything that you've just received and everything that you've just had witnessed. Send it to me, send it to the lawyer, and let us just quickly check before you put it in an envelope and send it, because we can't then get it back.
Great advice, yeah, great advice, I like that. I mean, I just want to ask a question. Power of attorney, does that have to be a Thai person or can it be anybody?
It can be anybody.
It can be anybody?
Yeah.
Okay, the only reason I think is you're over in England and you say to the love of your life, here you go darling, you're power of attorney, and you come back over and you're like, what house?
Yeah, okay, well, one, just to clarify that, again, that's a very valid thing that we maybe need to go a bit further in. I mean, I don't know the exact number, but in Thailand, there are about 14 different power of attorney documents.
Wow.
So what we're talking about power of attorney is not just a general thing that you're in England, you give me a power of attorney, I can go to your bank accounts, I can sell your properties, you know, sell your motorbike and all this kind of thing. There is a power of attorney for motorcycle or vehicle documentation. There is a power of attorney for banking. There is a power of attorney. Basically what you're allowing somebody to do in this case is represent you at the land office.
Ah, gotcha.
It doesn't mean that if I represent you with this document, I can then give them my passport and end up having the property transferred. It just means that I'm allowed to act on your behalf.
Gotcha.
You're the one that's going to be doing it. The hardest thing, though, just to be aware when we talk about timeframes, as a buyer, the land office are relatively comfortable in the respect that, you know, there must be money changing hands. So, you know, they're kind of comfortable with the power of attorney for the buyer. They are always nervous when it's being sold. Or when the power of attorney is from a seller, because there is the potential that you're losing your asset, and how can we be 100% safe and in the knowledge that you know somebody's not selling it from underneath your feet. So there will be more documents required from a seller to a buyer. We've sort of made it quite easy for the buyer. For a seller, there'll be a couple more documents. Ideally, they would like you at the land office, but that's not to say that it's impossible. Brilliant. But it's just that when we're at the public notary, just get some more documents signed.
Perfect, there you go. What a comprehensive answer that is. And as I say, you know, please guys, the whole purpose of this show that we do is purely and only for you guys that have got any interest in property whatsoever, be it renting or be it buying, be it selling, whatever your interests are. Please, you know, get in touch with Martin and his team here. You know, you are in safe hands, and they will definitely reply to you and give you all the answers you need. All right, well, that's great. Well, that's brilliant. That's answered off all those questions. I've got one last question before we finish. He's thinking now, what's he going to ask me?
I know, it's always a surprise at the end, though.
Now, this one's an easy one. I mean, what I would like to, I mean, there are certain developments that are happening in and around the area at the moment that we're all aware of, and there's things that, you know, there's big talk about Walking Street, etc. There's a train station that we're talking about. How is that affecting the property market? Because is it rightly or wrongly for someone to sit back and think, do you know what, we'll get a billy bargain no matter what because people want to sell? Or is that time frame running out where people are saying, do you know what, I'm actually going to sit at my price now, or potentially, maybe, increase it?
I think, in all honesty, and I know that, you know, I'm a real estate agent and everything else. I mean, I've been, you know, banging that drum for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. That, you know, really, you know, there are some great bargains out there. The hard thing now is obviously finding sellers that are understanding, you know, sometimes they're selling at a loss. Which isn't a great thing, but and I know that a lot of people always put the comments, you know, if you want to lose your money, buy in Thailand. But let's be honest, I mean, ups and downs in any economy, in any country. You know, you look at the American economy back in 2008, all the foreclosures, you know, who could have predicted that? So, you know, you can't be smart and say, you know, we saw this coming. You know, some things just happen out of the blue. I agree that there is an oversupply of condominiums. Again, check the videos before, you know, that is fact. The biggest thing that's going to change right now is the development of the new train station. Now, I've been skeptical for, you know, and I've used the phrase that, you know, I've heard this story for 10, 12 years.
Not just the train station,
I tell you what,
so many things,
It's happening. It's happening, it's under construction, and it's happening about 3 or 4 miles away from where I'm sitting right now. Brilliant. On the Sukhumvit. The motorway's already completed and already open, and it's literally a quarter of a mile away from the train station. Obviously, the train track has still got to be changed, upgraded, or whatever. So let's not get too excited. But, you know, the stamp on the map is that it is going ahead. I think
for me, the one worry for me is that when they do put the train in, it's not going to be the bone shaker that takes you from here up to Bangkok that takes 4.5 hours.
I guess that's not the idea.
I've been on that one. I mean, it is an experience, but a one-time experience.
As far as I know, I mean, they need to widen the track width, and then they can get, I mean, they say high speed, it's probably like an Intercity 125 or something. But, you know, if you can get to Bangkok in an hour, then great.
Happy days. All right, brilliant. Well, as always, Mark, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for all your advice.
No problem.
And like I say, you know, I can't say it enough times, guys. Any questions, doesn't matter what it is that's related to property, be it buy or rent or sell, please, you know, drop a comment below. Get in touch with mine, let him or his team get back in touch with you and hopefully give you some great advice and help you through whatever process it is you're inquiring about. All right, that's it from us. Thank you so much for watching, guys. If you've got any questions you want to ask that you want us to cover in the show, please drop a comment and let us know, and we'll do our very best to talk about that in the next edition that we'll bring out in a few weeks now?
A couple of weeks,
yeah, not long now. So, so please, guys, you know, drop your comment below and let's see where we go from it. All right, that's it from us. Thank you very much for watching the Buzzing Property Show here on Buzzing Pattaya. Please remember, hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon if you'd like to be notified when we bring out a new video. Check out our members area and join our Telegram group. There's so many people on there just like you guys that have got a love for this beautiful city that we live in. All right, thanks ever so much for watching, and please, wherever you're in the world, stay safe.